What to do, baby? Welcome back to the TMS Takes podcast. This is episode 4. My name is Tyler.
I'm Mason.
And I'm Steele.
And once again, welcome back to TMS Takes. The fourth week. 4 weeks in, we're still having a blast. Still love doing it. Once again, don't forget to check out TMS2 on YouTube. Steele, why don't you tell them again what's going to be on TMS2?
TMS2 is kind of like our vlogish kind of style channel. We're going to be doing basketball challenges, football challenges, maybe throwing a little bit of Madden in there, 2K. Just like a little behind the scenes kind of fun little channel.
Whatever we feel like.
Different challenges, and like Mason said, whatever we feel like. So subscribe to TMS2 on YouTube. Not much going on in football and basketball. Actually, in baseball, the trade deadline was today. That was insane.
Yeah,
baseball.
no one asked.
Who?
I know no one. I know. But I'm just saying, if you watch baseball, it was a kind of a crazy trade deadline. But no, we don't talk about baseball in here.
Well, Michael Thomas is the highest paid NFL receiver now.
That's crazy.
Mike Daniels is a lineman.
5 years, $100 million to Michael Thomas. His holdout is going to come to an end. I think it's $61 million guaranteed. Which, he is the highest paid. He is the highest paid NFL receiver in NFL history now. I mean, he's a great receiver. He's a great receiver.
Get that bag.
Imagine being the highest paid receiver and not being top 5 receiver.
Who's ahead of him? Julio, DeAndre
Odell.
Hopkins, Odell.
I put Thielen low key. I like Thielen.
You put Thielen over? Ooh,
he's kind of a beast.
I think Michael Thomas.
Record.
I think Michael Thomas could be top 5, maybe, or
maybe
he's
5.
He's
1,000%.
He's 1,000,000% top 10.
For sure.
Like Mason said, Mike Daniels, Packers cut him. Mike Daniels says he wants to go to a Super Bowl contender, and then signs with the Lions. Incoming concussion protocol for Mike Daniels.
Dude, they're Super Bowl contenders. They got Matthew Stafford at the helm. True. He's throwing it to Kenny Galladay, Megatron 2.0.
Well,
yeah.
Let's just say Mike Daniels has not only concussion protocol but a drug test coming soon for Mike Daniels. I think that's all the big news, really. I can't think of anything else.
Ezekiel Elliott is holding out.
Yeah, that's been going on for a good amount of time.
My offensive player of the year prediction's it's getting a little shaky. I'm kind of concerned.
He'll make it back. There's no way they trade him.
Yeah, there's no way. They'd be dumb too.
They'd be idiotic to trade him. He's a top 3 running back for sure. What else?
That's pretty much it.
This is like the most boring time in the NBA season. I think that's pretty much it. You guys ready to get into it?
Yep. This
week, I can't remember I don't remember if I already said this, but this week we're gonna be talking about, since there's not that many topics, notes and just key things that have stood out to us from NFL training camps all around the league so far. I think are we about a week in? How long has it been now? It's been about a week, maybe a little bit more, right?
Rookie showed up like 2 weeks ago.
Well, yeah. But I mean,
by the time this podcast goes up, we're gonna have our first football game since February.
That is true. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh man, I forgot about that.
Hall of Fame game, August 1st, Falcons and Broncos.
I was gonna say it's Broncos Falcons, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Hall of Fame game isn't. I mean, it doesn't mean.
It's football. I need it.
Exactly. I was literally about to say that. It doesn't mean anything, but it's still football. But that's our topic this week, and I guess we'll go same order. Mason, you want to start us off?
Yeah. So the July 30th, we went to the Cardinals training camp. That was a pretty fun experience. We met a couple players, had a couple of funny interactions with some players. Shout out Drew Anderson.
Shout
out DJ Humphrey. Shout out Mason Cole. Watching Kyler in person, man, that gave me chills, dude.
That was awesome.
Dude, he's the future.
He is so fun to watch.
He can throw a bullet. He threw a couple picks, but I mean, you have to realize I think the Cardinals have a top 5 secondary in the league, and I'm not expecting him to like out the gate throw 40 touchdown passes.
Obviously, yeah.
He's gonna have his rookie bumps, his sophomore slump, maybe.
Yeah.
But the future is definitely bright for the Cardinals.
I mean, obviously he's a rookie. He's not. I mean, there were still some flaws that we saw with him. But again, he's a rookie, so you can't expect him to be flawless yet. So
I mean, just watching like the camaraderie between like him and like all the veterans is like like Rosen last year. I didn't hear like that many like of the players talking about him, but like Chandler Jones, all these defensive guys like cannot stop talking about Kyler Murray and like how exciting he is to watch. And like Larry Fitzgerald has like said so many times that he's a leader.
I was just about to say that.
You know?
Larry. Larry is a great guy, and Larry is nonstop been praising Kyler, which is awesome to see. You're right. It's awesome to see all these veterans and all these guys are on the team just praising Kyler. It shows what kind of player, what kind of guy Kyler Murray really is.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'll go into my first point, which is also about the Cardinals. Like Mason said, we went to the July 30th open practice. It was really fun. Had a blast meeting all the players and getting to see the open practice. But the one key takeaway I had from that is the Cardinals defense. The Cardinals defense looks so. I know the Cardinals offensive line. I mean, it could easily be the Cardinals offensive line is bad. It doesn't look great, but I honestly love what I'm seeing from the Cardinals defense. Like I said, they're tearing through the Cardinals offensive line. Chandler Jones and Terrell Suggs already have a great relationship. They've been hanging out a ton off the field that I've seen too. The whole defense seems to be on the same page. They're clicking really well. Like Mason said, they got a couple of picks off of Kyler yesterday. I don't know the official number. I know I off the top of my head I can remember a couple.
It was 2, I believe.
Was it 2?
I think so. Robert Alford got that one-hand snag, which was incredible.
That was insane.
And then I think Chandler Jones also picked him off in 7 on 7.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And then then he started running around with the ball. That was funny. But yeah, no, just the chemistry these guys seem to have already. And honestly, not even just the defense, but the chemistry of the offense kind of maybe not on the field, but like Mason said, the camaraderie they have and just seem to be, really close. Yeah,
it's going to take a while to click on the field.
Obviously, it's going to take a while to click on the field, but it's good to see.
It seems like the rookies are like in like a click and like they're like having a lot of fun together, which is good to see.
It's good to see that they're like all the Cardinals are connecting really well. Like Mason said, it takes some time to really click on the field. But my main points from the Cardinals are that their defense looks great, and the whole team is clicking really well, and the camaraderie is really there, and it's just really good to see from the Cardinals.
Yeah, so I'll just hop straight into my takeaways from the training camp. Basically, Kyler Murray has a bullet. Like thing is insane. Like I was watching him zip that ball, man. I was like going crazy. Like that thing was fast. And another thing is Kevin White. He actually did look pretty impressive.
He did. Yeah, he did.
I mean, I like Kevin White as much, but that's just because he had a couple bad He just had bad luck with the Bears, so it didn't really work out. But Kevin White looked really nice. Andy Isabella, he looked pretty good. The defense really was like the main thing. Like the defense looks pretty scary. Not gonna lie. They do. T Suggs, he's gonna do T Suggs kind of things. Of course, the secondary and the corners, they look out of this world. But also to take away, Brett Hundley, the backup. He looked pretty good too.
He actually did not look bad. Yeah. He actually did look pretty good
for a backup quarterback. This man it's gonna be pretty good. So we already have a solid backup. So yeah.
Another thing I'd like to touch up on the Cardinals is I think this is going under the radar. Andy Isabella, Keem Butler getting a lot, but I think Keyshawn Cole has been the best Cardinals rookie receiver so far. He's just done amazing things. Like I heard reports today that he was beating Patrick Peterson in one-on-one drills.
I heard about that.
I don't know if you guys remember. He lined up on someone. I can't remember who it was. He did a 2-step, and then he just took off. And the guy lost him. It was an overthrown ball, but it was still an incredible thing. And then Brett Hundley had a 65-yard touchdown and off the camp to him, the practice. So, yeah, that was another thing I'd like to say, just because I think Keyshawn Cole is going under the radar, but I'm liking him so far. He's quick, he's fast, and his route running is insane.
That's something that the Cardinals that no one's really talking about with the Cardinals, that receiving core. Larry Fitzgerald, Christian Kirk, Hakeem Butler, Keyshawn Johnson. They have Andy Isabella. I mean, a great receiving core. That's something that not a lot of people are talking about with the Cardinals. I feel like the Cardinals are a team that not a lot of people talk about, and I think it's very disrespectful. I think the Cardinals have a great young team. I think they're 100% set up for the future. I could see them winning anywhere from 6 to 8 games this year. 5 probably at the least, in my opinion. At least 5 games that they win this season. But yeah.
It's looking like a promising team for sure.
It does. Really young team, really good team.
We're gonna hop into our other points. I wanna talk about the Miami Dolphins for a little bit.
Oh yeah, I'll talk about them too.
I'm gonna talk about the QB situation.
Oh man.
There's reports coming out saying Rosen has been beat by Fitzpatrick the entire camp, and it really, like, as a Cardinals fan, I want to see Rosen succeed because he's a great guy. I think he needs to like have a better attitude, kind of. But other than that, he's a great guy. I think he'll be a good quarterback. But I don't know what it is about him, but he's like not pro ready. It seems like he can't beat out a 36-year-old. I know he had a terrible line, and I backed him up all year on that. But then I kind of looked over, and he made a lot of bad decisions.
He did.
He overthrew a lot of people, and it's like, okay, that makes sense. But I thought this training, because this training camp, he'd like flip a switch, because he said if he was on the Cardinals still that he was gonna beat Kyler, which after seeing Kyler,
I did not know that. He said that?
Yeah, he did say that.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, he said he wanted to beat out Kyler, and he said he would if he didn't say it directly, but it came out.
I saw it came out.
But sure. I don't. After watching him, he definitely would not have beat Kyler. Kyler is doing phenomenal. He's looking like a veteran player already, and Josh Rosen. Maybe he needs another year to take a step back, but the Dolphins might draft Tua Tagovailoa from Alabama. So, like, what is Josh Rosen's future? I think that's a big question, and I really feel bad for him. But there's a certain point where you can't just start blaming the O-line and the offense. You have to take some credibility for how good you're playing.
And the Dolphins O-line, they have a terrible O-line as well.
Yeah.
But honestly, and I'll take that right into I was going to talk about the exact same thing. The Dolphins quarterback competition, while it seems like it's going 100% Ryan Fitzpatrick, I'm pretty sure a member of the Dolphins staff has said that it's going to Ryan Fitzpatrick. Something that's kind of irking me a little bit. And I like Josh Rosen. Like, I agree with Mason. I thought his attitude has to improve a little bit too. I did not know he said that about Kyler. That even furthers the point that his attitude needs to improve. But yeah, I like Josh Rosen. But the way that the Dolphins are handling the quarterback competition, it's so Dolphins in my opinion. I feel like it's very unprofessional. Sure, you can say that Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to be the starting quarterback, but I've seen multiple reports come out with multiple quotes from Dolphins team staff members that they just nonstop are praising Ryan Fitzpatrick, which of course you want to do that with your team. I'm not saying don't praise Ryan Fitzpatrick, but there's little to no comments or any praise about Josh Rosen. And I don't care how bad he's doing. If he's on your team, you say something good about him. You don't just leave him under. You don't just leave him in the dust. And I haven't heard any Dolphins team staff member say anything. I forgot Josh Rosen was on the team for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I actually forgot Josh Rosen was on the team. I mean, I honestly, I feel like they're handling it so unprofessionally, and I feel so bad for Josh Rosen because because Kyler took his job in Arizona. He gets traded to Miami. He's expected to, he's expected to have a shot, and all of a sudden, the Dolphins are just treating him like he's not a member of the team, and they're not praising him. They're not saying anything about him. So I feel bad for Josh Rosen. I feel like the Dolphins are handling this very unprofessionally. Ryan Fitzpatrick, I'm not surprised. I'm honestly not surprised that he's winning the job over Josh Rosen. I don't think Josh Rosen's ready yet to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. I think if he keeps working at it, one day he will be. But honestly, I'm not surprised Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to win the starting job. But I don't like the way the Dolphins are handling it.
Well, personally, I'd like to agree to disagree here. I know it seems unprofessional to like bag on your sophomore incoming quarterback coming
exactly,
in, but
and he's young too.
Yeah, but if he's not performing like how he should, I understand like, oh, maybe it's just a sophomore year slump or whatever. But
exactly,
if he can't beat out a 36-year-old quarterback, you keep in mind Ryan Fitzpatrick is a great quarterback, though. I'm not gonna.
I do think
lie about that.
Right now, I do think he is better than Josh Rosen.
But I mean, it's at certain points where you can't really praise him if he's not really performing like up to par.
Well, yeah, sure.
So I feel like they're handling it correctly. Maybe they could like say like some nicer things about him, or like just say stuff about him.
Just say something about
he's
him.
Still there.
Yeah,
but I feel like they can't really like praise him at all if he's not performing up to par.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree with that. I guess I'm not really saying like praise him, like say like great things about him if he's not performing well, which obviously he's not. But just say something about him. I mean, just acknowledge him in some way. Say, yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to take the job, but it's nice to see Rosen in here every day. Because I'm sure Josh Rosen's. I'm sure he's working hard. Just say something like, "It's nice to see Josh Rosen in here. Still working, still trying to get better each day." Which I assume is the case. But I mean, that is a good point. If he's really not in there, if he's really not out on the field, working to get better and really training to get better, then honestly, yeah, don't say anything. Don't say any comments like that about him. But I didn't think about that. That is a good point. So it really depends on just how Josh Rosen handling his current position, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm sure he's working hard, but
yeah, no, of course.
Another thing that's concerning is like what you guys said. Ryan Fitzpatrick is 36 years old, and he's an average quarterback at best.
Yeah.
Because I know he had that 3-game run last year, but you have to remember I rewatched some of those games and like those highlights just like randomly, and I like kind of realized that he got bailed out a lot by his receivers,
especially Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, there was like a lot of times where like Mike Evans would win the 50-50 ball and it was like a really bad read, or like Deshaun Jackson would just be like wide open. I'm taking nothing away from Fitzpatrick. He's a great quarterback. He's a great guy. He is a starting quality. I just don't think that he is more than average, which is concerning for Rosen if he can't beat out more than average, because you can't make the excuse that Rosen doesn't have the experience. He played like 14 games last year.
Against good teams too.
He's been healthy all training camp. He's played against really good defenses like the Rams and the Seahawks.
Twice a year.
Yeah.
And he played the Bears too.
He did.
At the end, but
he played a lot of good defenses. So like I don't know what his issue is. I feel like maybe it's like a mental thing that he just can't get down. I feel like his mental mistakes is what's causing him not to be good, because he has the arm talent to make every throw. He just doesn't make the right decisions at times,
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely.
Yeah. It's almost like the same thing like with Tim Tebow. Like he was a phenomenal college player, and like once he hit the pros, like he was kind of shaky.
Yeah,
he was average at best. So like it's probably like a mentality kind of thing.
I really hope Rosen pans out though, because I'm a fan of his.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah, he can be good. He can be good for sure.
Another thing I'd like to touch up on the Dolphins is I just had to say this because I'm an ASU fan. Kalen Ballage has been impressing many of the coaches, and he might even get a lot of more carries this year.
That'd be awesome.
I just had to throw that out there just because I'm a ASU fan. I like to see Ballage get more touches because he had an underrated rookie year, I feel like.
I remember KB at ASU. He was insane. It's like ASU is like the underrated running back university. We had Eno Benjamin right now. We had Marion Grice all those years ago. Kalen Ballage. I like what you said about Kalen Ballage. I think he's one of the more underrated backs in the league, and I really do hope we get to see him get more touches this year.
Up into another thing I saw from this training camp is the Ravens. So I'd like to touch up on Lamar Jackson because I'm a really big fan of his, but I'm not liking what John was doing with him.
Mm-hmm.
They said they might run it the same amount of times with him, which I don't agree personally with, because I think you need to give Lamar Jackson time to throw, not just make him run a read option every other play. because let's be honest, at some point, if they just keep running, he's gonna get hurt, and
100%.
it could be very bad. I know Lamar Jackson gets memed on like he can't pass, but if you watch his highlights, he can make throws. He has a strong arm. He's a good decision maker. He's not the most accurate, but he still has a lot of great assets to his passing game. And I don't like how they make him a running back in the shotgun formation practically. They just don't pass with him. So that's the thing I'm kind of concerned with the Ravens not using Lamar Jackson right.
Yeah, absolutely. If the Ravens just keep running it with Lamar, at some point he's going to get hurt, and he could easily get hurt. Stand back there throwing. There's no guarantees in football, but yeah, no, I absolutely agree. They have to give him more of an opportunity to throw. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah, I agree too. When you have talent like that, obviously you see the speed, and Lamar Jackson is a speedy, quick guy. But it's kind of like you can compare it to like Kyler Murray. Like Kyler Murray's fast, but they're utilizing his throwing and
he's a thrower first.
Throw. Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, he's a thrower first, and if they're gonna try to push this read option concept on him, he's never gonna get better as a passer, and that's what you need to move forward, especially in come playoff time when you need a clutch play. Read option's not going to be the move. That defense is any defense is going to lock that up.
They got exposed in the playoffs this
year. Exactly. And after last season, defenses already know what Lamar Jackson's going to do. They already know that. They already know the Ravens with the Ravens. He's kind of like a run first quarterback, honestly. So the NFL defenses are going to I've known that by now. So yeah, the Ravens need to give Lamar more of an opportunity to throw for sure. Another point I want to make about the offseason or the training camp so far is that the Chargers really aren't stressing Melvin Gordon holding out right now. Well, I do think Melvin Gordon. I do think Melvin Gordon is a great running back, top 10, maybe top 5, but I don't know about top 5, but for sure top 10. But members of the team, they've went on record and said, not straight up said that they don't need Melvin Gordon, but basically kind of have. They've said, Phillip Rivers has said that not like this isn't like word to word, but like summed up, Phillip Rivers basically said they aren't focused on him not being there right now. They're going to run it with the running backs they have right now, and they're going to continue camp as usual. He did say he really does hope that Melvin comes back soon, but that they honestly don't need him right now. And the team members sound like not that they don't need Gordon, but that they don't mind him not being there. Austin Eckler, he's been looking pretty good so far in camp. But it's kind of short, but that's something that really stuck out to me so far. I do think that Melvin Gordon will come back, though. I do think that eventually, sometime he'll come back. I don't think it's going to be a Le'Veon Bell type situation. I do think that Melvin Gordon is going to remain a Charger.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Mm-hmm. Austin Eckler is really good too.
He's really underrated.
I feel like they're not stressing out about it too much. It's because if they do stress out about it and it gets word out to Melvin will hold out even longer.
Oh yeah,
it'd be like a whole dramatic thing, and you can't mess up the whole team just because of one player.
Right.
But yeah, but something I wanted to touch up on, obviously my favorite team is the Bears, and the one thing that's been interesting to me is the fact that the players are really excited about Mitch this year.
Oh yeah, they are.
They were talking about first year how he was just trying to figure out the offense and stuff. And I'm not going to lie, we got carried by our defense. Our defense was insane. Our defense was practically our offense almost this year. Last year. But I forgot who said it, but someone, I think it was a receiver, said that last year, like I said before, last year Mitch was trying to figure out the offense, but this year he's leading the offense. And that's really exciting to hear. That means he's getting better, he's progressing a lot, and I'm really excited to see what Mitch can do on the field, personally. And the defense, same old. Hopefully the same without, Vic Fangio.
Yeah, that was a big loss.
That is a big loss. He was a great defensive coordinator.
Oh man.
But I'm pretty sure the talent there will make it okay. So
right. And Trubisky was your most improved player last week, right? When we were doing that. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. No, I do think Trubisky's going to take a big jump this year, and it's refreshing to see that see all these players, kind of obviously they're supporting Trubisky, but that they have so much faith in him, especially this year. It's really refreshing to see. It's really good to see.
Yeah, the receivers are really digging him, and that's really good to hear.
I think Mitchell Trubisky, compared to his second year, compared to his rookie year, he had a massive jump. I think that has a big deal with him being in a better offense and him having better weapons. But
right.
Yeah, I could definitely see Trubisky improving a lot this year just because he had to learn a whole new offense last year. But now he has that belt. He's entering his third year, so he just has more experience. He's gonna mesh better with those guys. So I just think all around Mitch Trubisky, it's only up from here. I feel like.
Yeah.
And imagine how scary the Bears can be. I mean, Trubisky was I'll say he was maybe around average last season.
Yeah,
performance wise, he was around average last season. And I mean, like Mason said, I mean he's only getting better from here. And the Bears still went 12-4 last season with an average Mitchell Trubisky. Imagine how good they're going to be with an above average Mitchell Trubisky who's only getting better. Yeah, the Bears are going to be really good, and Trubisky's only going to get better.
I feel like they were just a kicker away from making the Super Bowl this year
man.
and potentially winning, but things happen.
Right.
Yep.
Next point.
I'm gonna go with the flashiest team probably of this off season. I'm gonna go with the Browns.
Oh man.
That Baker to Odell connection is looking really nice. I feel like every time I open up Instagram, I'm just seeing a new highlight of Odell catching some crazy pass from Baker, and and it's just it's nice to see. It's nice to see that Baker. I mean, he came into the league with a ton of weapons, and then you just add more. This kid's set up for success for the future. I think Baker is going to be a special player just because he doesn't care about what anyone says. He's going to do what he does best, and that's playing football. He doesn't care about the outside noise. He never has. And I think he just has a great mentality, and it really just shows this training camp like how much better he's improved. I mean, I feel like no one talked about it. He broke the rookie touchdown passing record, which is crazy.
No one's talking about that.
Did it in 13 games too. Didn't even play all the games. And I'm just like really excited to see Odell because no offense to Eli, but Odell has never played with a prime quarterback. Like Eli's a great quarterback, but Odell's played with him on the back end of his career. So
100%. To
see Odell play with a good young quarterback, also having weapons around him, so he's not going to get double teamed just because you have to pay attention to Jarvis Landry, of course.
Obviously.
So yeah, I'm really excited to see that.
Antonio Callaway too. Yeah, they have so many weapons on that team. I love Baker. Baker and Tom Brady are my two favorite players in the NFL. I've been a huge fan of Baker's for a long time, ever since Oklahoma. I remember watching him getting picked first overall. I remember how happy I was for him. Just because he gets such a bad rep in all around the league, especially from Colin Cowherd. But yeah, no, his attitude, his mentality, his mindset about football, it's amazing to see. I am going to talk about the Browns a little bit, about Odell too. Odell's been playing great. He's been looking great. The Baker-Odell connection has been great. But just something that it's minor. It's nothing really huge, but something that is kind of standing out for me has been Odell's. I mean, again, this could just be me just noticing this. I could be wrong, but just Odell's attitude has just seemed not bad, but just a little different than what we're used to seeing with Odell. And it could be because I'm not sure. But I'm not sure if it's just me, but he doesn't seem like his normal self. Odell's always been a quiet guy. But honestly, since he's gone to Cleveland, I haven't seen him say much in the media. I have seen a couple more drops than we're used to seeing from Odell in practice. In the clips I've seen from practice, I've seen a couple more drops than we're used to seeing from him. He just doesn't seem like himself, and I'm not sure what the reason is behind it. I'm not sure if it's just me, I'm not sure if it's just me seeing that. So yeah, I would love to know your guys' thoughts. Do you guys think that too, or is it just me? But that is something that just caught my eye, is that Odell doesn't seem really like himself.
I think a big part of that is just, it's early in the year. I mean,
Yeah.
You're gonna have some rust. You have to kick off. I mean,
new environment. Yeah.
Odell, he's coming off a couple injuries. He's still rehabbing a little bit probably.
I'm sure. Yeah.
He hasn't played football in a while because the Giants don't play past January.
Of course.
And what you're saying about his character, I think that just has something to do with like he has stuff to prove. He's one of the highest paid receivers.
Sure. Yeah.
The Giants gave up on him. I don't know why.
That is another thing. That is another thing that I was thinking about that could totally be another reason. I'm sure he kind of feels like the Giants gave up on him for a reason that I'm not sure of. I think that Saquon Barkley and Odell Beckham Jr. Tandem would have been phenomenal in the league for many years to come.
It would have been great for Daniel Jones too.
Oh man, it would have been amazing for Daniel Jones.
Would have boosted his morale.
Odell's better than Golden Tate, so yeah, I mean, and that absolutely could have been it. I mean, the Giants giving up on him so early, yeah, that's a great point. So yeah, that could also be taken into account.
Another thing with that is I feel like he's just more comfortable, kind of, I could say, because he's with his buddy Jarvis Landry.
Mm-hmm.
Are they? They're college buddies, right? Or are they high school buddies? I'm not.
College and high school. They've known each other for a long time.
Oh, okay. So both. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, he's probably just super comfortable, but yeah, he's also probably in that mentality where like he's got to prove them wrong. So yeah, I could agree with you guys for that too.
I think you have to realize too. Odell didn't request a trade of New York. It came out of nowhere.
It was really out of nowhere.
It's because the Browns are just persisting on trading for Odell. And I don't care what the media says. I think Odell loved New York.
Yeah,
during the down years, he never requested a trade. He may have said a couple comments, but that's just Odell. He's gonna say what he's gonna say, and I don't really blame him. I mean, he's talking bad about Eli, and I would too, because it's kind of frustrating after a while. After you're playing with a quarterback that you're like, he's a legend in the franchise, but there's a certain point you gotta just cut it off.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be hard, but you got to cut ties with what's wrong with your team, and that's Eli Manning.
Right.
Odell has never given up on that team. I feel like he was excited. He had Saquon Barkley on that team, a couple young guys on defense, but the Giants just gave up on him, and I feel like that hit him personally just because he gave everything to that city. He tried his best to do what he could with what he had.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure he loved New York. I mean, like you said, the off seasons were extended for the Giants. And yeah, I mean, New York's obviously not a bad place to to live and to hang out in. But I'm sure that's another good point. He not only does he feel kind of betrayed and like he has a lot to prove with the Giants letting him go. But also, new environment, new city to get accustomed to. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons that could go behind it.
There you go.
He probably also. Well, I was just gonna say because with the Giants and their downfall year, like the only thing exciting there was Saquon Barkley. I just feel like since he's on the Browns now, he feels like he has more of like a chance to actually compete. So maybe that could be also why.
That's true.
His attitude's a little different, but yeah,
he's in that championship mentality.
Exactly. Maybe. He's more focused. He's more dedicated to football. I'm sure he's already obviously extremely dedicated to football, but he understands that a championship is. I mean, let's be honest. As much as people like to hate on Baker Mayfield and the Browns, the championship's a lot more likely now.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not saying they're Super Bowl contenders like right now, but I mean they have the talent to possibly be. I think maybe give it a year, and these guys really could be. If this team really does mesh the way that we all expect it to, I really think in a great way. I really think this team could be Super Bowl contenders in a year.
Well, I agree completely.
Going to another thing I saw. I know we touched up on the beginning, but Ezekiel Elliott holding out, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm on Ezekiel Elliott's side. I know he's got 2 years left on his deal, but I think you have to remember the Cowboys run it so much with him. He could just one day get hurt, and then he could lose his money. He's looking out for himself, and you can't hate that on a guy. He has proven himself worth the contract, so why not give it to him? I don't think he's being a drama queen. He hasn't said anything bad about the franchise whatsoever. He just wants a new contract, like a lot of players do. What makes me mad is what Jerry Jones said. He said you don't need a rushing champion, basically calling out Ezekiel Elliott, saying, "Hey, we don't need we can win without you, which is completely false.
It's not true at all.
Dak Prescott's a good QB, but you're not winning anything if you don't have Ezekiel Elliott backing up Dak. And I'm really on Ezekiel Elliott's side here. I don't think Cowboys should trade him. I think they need to give him a contract as soon as possible. He deserves to be the highest paid running back.
The Cowboys need Ezekiel Elliott. They absolutely need Ezekiel Elliott. There's no way around it. Like you said, they can't win. Dak Prescott's a good quarterback, but in order to be able to really, really win football games, they need Ezekiel Elliott. In my opinion, he's a top 3 running back. I might have him at number 2, but he's top 3 for sure. Yeah, no, you're exactly right. The Cowboys need Ezekiel Elliott. They need to pay Ezekiel Elliott. I do think Ezekiel Elliott does get paid. And for the Cowboys' sake, I really hope he doesn't get traded. Because they need him. They absolutely need him.
Yeah, they really do. Especially because there's not really much to focus on other than the run game there. So once the run game's gone, it's like basically a toss up from there. So
that's true.
Yeah.
It's just annoying, like hearing media people talking about Ezekiel Elliott. Like, he's had a couple of questionable things, but that was like 2 years ago. I feel like he's a changed guy, and that has nothing to do with his football productivity. He has been consistent his entire career. He's been a top 5 running back since entering the league, which is insane. He was the lead league in rushing yards last year. So I just don't understand why the Cowboys want to hold out. If Ezekiel Elliott wants his money, give him his money. You're just going to delay it a year. Right. You're probably going to save some money, if anything, because he'll probably ask for more in 2 years,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And if they don't pay him now, I think they will trade him because, exactly like you said, he's just going to ask for more money if he doesn't get the money he wants now. And I mean, if you're not going to pay him what he wants now, you're not going to want to pay him what he wants in 2 years. So
I think
they absolutely have to.
I think Elliott is in a win-win position right now. Either he gets his money and he gets his way with traded. Jerry Jones really messed up by saying that comment because now the Cowboys have no leverage because Ezekiel is probably pissed right now because I would be too if my owner said that about me, like a sneak diss basically.
He's probably like, "Oh, you don't need me? Okay, watch this." And he's just gonna keep holding out until. And honestly, it gives Zeke more of an opportunity to ask for more money for more money.
There you go.
There, yeah. Now I got it. Yeah, because I mean, Jerry Jones, basically, you're right. Basically, is saying that they don't need him. So Zeke's like, "Oh, you don't need me, right?" He's just gonna keep asking for more money. And yeah, no, Zeke's absolutely in a win-win situation for sure.
Yes, sir.
Hop into your second point or your another point, Tyler.
That was all my points.
Okay.
So for my topic, I love football. Like I used to play football. I used to play quarterback. So my favorite thing this training camp season is all the quarterbacks for each team. Like there's different quarterback scenario. But the one person I love is Patty Mahomes. Like he's looking phenomenal. He's almost looking better than he was last year. And what did he do last year? He threw 50 touchdowns.
Oh,
and
man.
I saw a clip on Insta. It was, that no-look pass, dude. It's looking spicy. It was like they threw a flag, and he was just like a little show off, like no-look pass. And it was a perfect dime. Like that's like a quarterback's dream to no-look pass, perfect dime. So this man's accuracy is insane. Also, this dude's got a phenomenal arm. I don't know if this story's true. I tried to look it up, but I couldn't really find much. But I think I don't know. This could not be a true story, but I feel like someone said he was in a stadium and he threw the ball out of the stadium.
He did. I watched that. There was a clip of that. There was a clip of that. I'll try to find it. I'm not sure if I can find it, but there was a clip of that. It was insane. He was on the sideline. He threw the ball from the sideline out of the stadium. It was wild. It was insane to see. Dude, Yeah, no, there's a clip of it. I'll try to find it and send it to you guys. I'll try to find it.
All right, sounds good. But I couldn't find it. Maybe I was just looking in the wrong place. But hearing that and knowing that it's true that he went from the sideline and threw the ball out of the stadium. And keep in mind, when you go to a stadium, especially when we went to the Cardinal Stadium and we're from where we were sitting, from to the roof or the ceiling, that thing looked far, and he threw that ball out of the dude. His arm's insane. Like he has a strong arm.
I feel like it was a while ago, so I'm not sure if it was all the way out of the stadium. I can't remember for sure, but I think it was. I'll try to find the clip.
I mean, if it was close, that's still
even if it was close, that's still insane.
Yeah, I like what you said. I'm a big fan of Patty Daddy.
There it is again,
Patty Daddy.
You gotta make one every episode. You can
that should be our goal. That should be our goal.
True. But
I mean, I like it. Patty Daddy.
I'm a fan of that one.
Yeah. What Steele said, when you throw 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards and you better, that's terrifying for the league. Like,
oh man.
I don't know if he'll put up the same stats, but stats don't mean everything. He could just be more efficient with throwing. But I still think he's gonna have an MVP caliber. Definitely top 2 for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. He's got Tyreek Hill still. No comment on him. He's still got.
Yeah, you don't want to get me started on Tyreek Hill.
He's still got a top 3 tight end. They got Sammy Watkins. I think someone who really went unnoticed is when down stepped up, and I think he played really good. I think that went unnoticed in the playoffs. He had a really good game against the Patriots in that AFC Championship game.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he had a pretty good playoffs. And I think he's gonna be a pretty good. I don't think he's gonna be like a Pro Bowl running back, but I definitely could see him being like a nice above average running back, especially in that Chiefs system.
He had a lot of good plays on us in the AFC Championship.
Yeah, I feel like was like really underrated playoff run last year. He did. Yeah, no, he was. He did pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We
can agree there.
I got one more thing I'd like to talk about, just because this could portray to the Cardinals. Trent Williams is now on the trade block.
I want to talk about that too. Good point. I forgot about that. Thank you for bringing that up.
I really hope the Cardinals get him. That would be insane. Like him on the left side of Marcus Gilbert, right? Like Kyler is gonna be safe in that pocket as long as they stay healthy. Which is like one of the biggest concerns about any offensive line, is just because it's very easy to get injured there. But there's some teams in the mix. I can't remember, but I just know those are teams which I'm excited about. The Redskins basically said they're moving on. Trent Williams is basically moving on because Trent Williams says he doesn't want to play a game for the Redskins again. And the Redskins just brought in Donald Penn, who is same position as Trent Williams. So I think it's the end of an era. I know it's not interesting talking about offense, but Trent Williams is a top 3 left tackle.
One of the best, for sure.
Left tackle is one of the most important positions in football, protecting the blind side of the quarterback. So yeah.
I have a list here of Patriots are for sure interested. Is something that Jordan Reed, Jeff House said. Other teams that were brought up are the Texans, Browns, and Cardinals. Let me look at this again. Cardinals cannot confirm that Cardinals cannot confirm that there's definite interest in Trent Williams, but they're expected to have interest. And I'm getting the same goes for the Texans and Browns. Patriots for sure have shown interest, but apparently there's multiple other teams that haven't been reported yet for Trent Williams. That is another thing I want to talk about. Trent Williams, it seems like he should, not should, but it seems like he will have played his final game for the Redskins. Bring in Donald Penn gives you no need to keep Trent Williams. Again, Trent Williams is one of the best offensive linemen in the league, but bring in Donald Penn, there's no reason for Trent Williams to be there anymore. So I really hope that for both sides, they can get a trade done.
The thing with the teams that are interested in Trent Williams is like all of them almost need linemen, like in a sense. I'm not too sure about this, but didn't the Browns drop their left tackle because of something?
They traded one of their offensive linemen.
I think you're talking about Desmond Harrison. He got cut for off the field issues. The Cardinals picked him up, got cut for off the field issues again. So, his career's not looking too good, but I think that's who you're talking about. Maybe
the Browns Browns back in March they traded Kevin Zeitler. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce his last name. Right, yeah. They traded him for Olivier Vernon, so I'm not sure if that's who we're thinking of. But yeah, the Browns.
It was one of them.
All those teams could use offensive linemen. Texans, Browns, Patriots, Cardinals. I think especially could use offensive linemen. But yeah, I really hope for both sides. I really hope Trent Williams and the Redskins. I really hope they get a trade that both sides can agree on.
That's true.
Yep.
Steele, you got any more?
No, I think we went through all.
Mason, you got any more?
I'm gonna have one more on leave this guy out. This is my last one. I'm gonna touch up on him real quick. From the Panthers training camp, I think DJ Moore is gonna have a breakout year.
Oh, I like him. I like him a lot.
Just like hearing all the reports and just seeing all the clips of him, he's gonna be that number one receiver for the Panthers, and I think he's gonna have a breakout year this year. I'm thinking Pro Bowl type year. He just looks phenomenal in training camp so far.
It sucked for the Panthers to lose Devin Funchess. I think he fit really well with the Panthers, and I think him and Cam, played really well together. So yeah, DJ Moore for sure should right away be the Panthers' number one receiver. A position the Panthers probably need some more help in, but yeah, DJ Moore should lead the way for that wide receiving core. And yeah, I expect to see. He had a great rookie year. I expect to see an even better year from him this year.
For sure.
Yes, sir. He does look pretty exciting. I'm not gonna lie. I saw those clips, and he looked pretty scary.
Yep. That is my final.
That's your final
takeaway of the.
You don't have any more?
No, I covered all mine. All the ones that were exciting to me.
Yeah, I covered all mine. I had another one, but it was smaller, and I cut it out. So I think that's it.
Yep. Thank you guys for listening.
We all had great points. This NFL season is going to be insane. Is going to be really interesting to see. Browns, one of the more interesting teams. A lot of teams that could be on the come up. Cardinals are going to be interesting to see. Bears with an improved Mitch Trubisky will be really interesting to see. So yeah, I think that's it.
Can't forget about Patty Daddy.
Of course. Well, yeah, the Chiefs are going to be great. Of course,
flows nice together.
It does. Yeah,
yes,
I think that
Nurk Daddy is still S tier.
I was gonna say,
I think Patty Daddy's a 1 tier below.
Yeah, sure.
Ball Daddy is definitely.
That's up there.
He's probably an A tier. Not gonna lie.
I'm gonna
get Drew Daddy to become a. I don't know what happened yesterday, but I'm like low fan.
He's a handsome fella.
Like
I'm not gonna lie. He's got the face of Tim.
I really hope. I really hope the Cardinals keep Drew Anderson. If you guys don't know, rookie quarterback out of Murray State, undrafted, I believe. He's just he's playing in training camp. Could be a third string kind of guy, but yeah.
Hope he makes the team.
I was watching him too. I'm not even for the memes. Like he can throw pretty good,
Handsome,
he's a pretty good quarterback, a handsome guy. Inside TMS takes Joe. But yeah, thank you guys for listening to the
episode 4,
the second NFL podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Might switch over to NBA, but I don't know about you guys, but
might do 2 and 2. We'll see.
Not this upcoming week, but the next week maybe we can talk about some of the first preseason games, like
that's a good idea.
First impressions on like the rookies, and stuff like that. Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Football season is right around the corner, guys.
It is.
We excited about that.
Little over a month away.
Very excited. Also, expect when the football season starts, we might do a little more NFL podcast.
Probably will.
The NBA isn't really too exciting when September, October time, or mid early October. But trust me, when NBA season comes around, we're gonna be.
Oh, this season's gonna be insane.
We're definitely. I feel like I don't want to speak on behalf of you guys, but definitely by October, I think we're gonna have 2 podcasts out a week, just because.
Yeah, that's the goal.
It's just like one NFL, one NBA. There's just so much stuff to cover. I'm really excited.
That'd be ideal. That'd be awesome.
Like if we're having fun talking about like the most boring time of the NFL and NBA season, just imagine like all the crazy games are happening and stuff like that. All these moments happening. So yeah.
100%. I think by October, that should be our goal.
Yeah, for sure.
To do 2 a week.
But yeah,
thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed.
Any last thoughts, boys?
Subscribe to TMS2 on YouTube.
Subscribe to TMS Takes as well.
Follow TMS Takes on Instagram.
Yep.
And stay tuned in every week.
Yep. TMS is on the come up, boys.
For sure.
TMS2, that'll be an exciting channel too. Ooh, that was kind of a bar. I'm not gonna lie.
Attaboy Steele.
I might have to drop a song.
That's a good idea.
TMS2 diss track.
All right, thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Make sure to come back next week. We will probably be doing an NBA podcast. We don't know quite the topic yet, but we'll think about it. We'll think about it.
We might touch up on the Hall of Fame game just a little bit, but
yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I'm down.
Might be a little interesting. But yeah, thank you for all the support on last episode's podcast. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far, literally listen to any part of this. Yeah, I think that's it.
Later.
See you later, guys. Peace.
Take care.
Adios.